Howdy folks, welcome back to Adrenaline Fueled Firearms. My name is Scott. So my last video that I did in response to another video that got revamped on my channel, I got a little bit in the weeds talking about 8.6 millimeter brass. So this video we're going to talk just more about 8.6 millimeter in general, 8.6 blackout by Q. So the reason for this video, I did an 8.6 blackout reloading video. It's just I quick loaded, knocked out one round, Merry Christmas, and threw it on, blurred out the actual loading process so I wouldn't step on any toes at YouTube. And for whatever reason, the other day they pulled my video down and then put it right back up and never messaged me about anything. So since it started getting some fresh views, because I like 8.6, I did the brass video, and I'm doing this video now on 8.6 blackout in general. So it's a round that was just developed by Q. It's still technically a Wildcat cartridge. A lot of conversation, a lot of discussion about that. There's quite a few videos out there about it. Look around, look them up, come back to mine, go to theirs afterwards, whatever order you want to do it in. But there's quite a bit of data out there on the 8.6 blackout, as well as a lot of haha, chuckle, pull my finger, fart, boobies, joke, haha, blah blah, yakety schmackety videos where people are just doing fun shit with them. I'm looking for, a little bit warmer weather and get some more ammo stocked up, and I'm going to do some cute chucklehead, dingbat, shoot at silliness and do silly things videos. But for right now, I want to talk about 8.6 blackout in general. So this is a blatant cry for love from Q. Q, if you guys run across any of my 8.6 black videos, the first thing you're going to notice is me swinging from your nuts. Second thing, totally reach out to me. I would love to deal with you guys. I can totally 100% guarantee you that out of my less than 200 followers, if you guys come on my channel or give me free stuff, at least one of them will probably consider thinking about buying one of your products. I can pretty much almost 100% think about guaranteeing that. 8.6 millimeter blackout. It's a newer cartridge. As far as release goes, I do not even believe that the ammunition and the barrels have been out for a year at this point. I think we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary, to be truthful. I'm not going to get into the weeds with that. I am going to make you aware of the fact that at this time, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my local gunsmith's knowledge, your only option for 1 3 twist 8.6 millimeter or 338 barrels is Faxon. So, Merry Christmas. Couldn't find anybody who's making a 1 3 twist, so it is what it is. When you consider getting into 8.6 blackout, you're going to be buying a barrel or a firearm from either Q or Faxon, and you're going to go from there. That's what the price tag is going to have on it. The barrel's relatively, the ammunition is still relatively difficult to get. Guerrilla ammunition has just gotten to the point where they're not doing like releases with emails and oh my gosh, oh, there's ammo coming, we promise. So I've been on their website a couple of times just this week, like I say, coming up on the 1-year mark, and we're finally having kind of some ammo availability. The market has actually finally started to reach the saturation point where some of us who aren't sitting on a fortune just go buy whatever the maximum is every time they come out can actually casually log in and go, I need 20 rounds or 40 rounds or 60 rounds or 100 rounds of this. Oh, it's in stock somewhere. Right on. So those who reload, with the COVID issues and supply chain issues, it's now starting to get to the point where the projectiles are becoming more readily available also. When I initially started shooting this round, because, I don't know, call me a bandwagon rider or whatever you want to call me, the theory behind the round when I did my initial research made it sound like a really interesting round to shoot out of an AR-10 platform. So I was one of the first knuckleheads on the bus to pre-order the barrels and then pray for ammunition. So I got a rifle assembled, I got it put together, and I started shooting it immediately. I went the AR-10 route because I prefer the semi-automatics over the bolt actions. Typically dealing with a bolt action, you aren't going to have malfunctions that are going to do this to your brass. So, just to make you, as I said, aware, because this is an informational video, you're going to run into some issues. If you build on an AR-10 platform, the parts that I ended up with on my rifle is about half of the cost of parts that I forked out money on to see what I liked and what would work and what I preferred and what felt great and everything else. What I ended up with after spending that unfortunate amount of money on experimentation, which was mostly my fault, what I ended up with is a rifle, this rifle right here, that has recoil that is just and I don't mean now, that said, Gorilla ammunitions, 285, 210 grain, anyway, Gorilla ammunition's Barnes ammunition that they sell on their website that doesn't have a barrel length stat, it's their $45 box ammunition. It kicks like an effing mule. Okay, I don't know what they loaded it for, but it doesn't shoot like the stuff I've loaded myself, following the Q load chart, and got the velocities Q on it. The Gorilla ammunition is literally, through my crony, has 50% more velocity than what Q is talking about that projectile weight should have out of a 16-inch barrel. Theoretically, according to Gorilla, it's safe to shoot this stuff out of a 16-inch barrel. I have been, and I haven't blown my firearm up yet, so it was crossed. But when I reload and I'm running my own ammunition, the recoil is negligible. And I've run 300 grain subsonics. I've run 210 grain Barnes, TSX, and 185 grain Hornadies. These projectiles are all on the load list that you can download from Q's site that will give you a rough idea of where to start with certain powder. I've been running CFE black powder that I've been able to get, so develop my loads based on that. There are some specifications for those loads on my 8.6 black reloading video. If you're interested, go look those up. As usual with reloading, don't, based on your equipment, my humidity, my altitude, my everything else versus your everything else, don't take that load weight as gospel. As a matter of fact, Q helpfully says it, right on the chart. Start above for subsonics and below charge for supersonics, and then work your way towards the middle until you get it just right. Never take any other load as gospel until you've loaded it yourself, done it yourself, checked your velocities, and haven't blown your face off. I ran into some issues that I wanted to fine-tune. With the Faxon barrel on the AR, you can use a wide open Merry Christmas generic gas block. I turned around and went with an adjustable to fine-tune it a little better. I will say that of my 160 rounds of Q brass that I've been recycling through the system, I've only lost less than 10 due to firearms malfunctions, and all of these were first 100 rounds break-in without an adjustable gas block, which is part of why I went with adjustable gas block. But I noticed that after a bit of break-in, I didn't even really have any issues even with the normal gas block. But since I eventually want to go with a suppressor, I wanted a more adjustable gas system so that I can get better results, hopefully theoretically down the road. Now, I am running these loaded out of standard AR-10 magazines. This 8.6 blackout is not too long ago in a standard magazine, so you don't even have to try looking for the fruity part number 577 Magpul magazines. They're a little bit longer, or have to use steel magazines because they're a little bit longer inside diameter. No, you can use the standard Magpuls for the AR-10 and they function just fine. I don't have any issues with the quality on the Faxon. I think they did a pretty good job. Like I say, you don't have to use that adjustable gas block. That went fine. I've run into a couple issues. A majority of the issues were either mine because I was fiddling around, or mine because I didn't quite torque something down quite properly, and Merry Christmas. So overall, it seems to be a reliable low recoil round that has a pretty good chunk of knockdown power down range. I mean, I hang my steel from chains so that I can look down range as I watch and see just how much imparted energy I'm getting. How bad does that steel on a chain kick around on other ammunitions. It's not rocket surgery science. It's redneckery. But my 8.6 blackout, when it comes to just hammering the steels and the response on the steel, when it hits downrange at 100 yards and at 200 yards, the response to those hits is very similar to definitely some of the heavier rounds that I'm shooting here, like 6.5 PRC. I think 6.5 PRC as a magnumized round is definitely giving a bit more energy to it, but it's nothing to stark at. I mean, it's hitting the steel with more authority than my 6.5 Creedmoor and my 308, which to me kind of surprised me at a certain level, because while you can discuss the science, what the bullet does downrange, what it does to a gel block downrange and everything else, you still get to a certain point where I'm pretty sure that the guys at Q sold their souls to Satan so that they could get this round dialed in with stupid low recoil, good downrange accuracy, and delivering a lot of kinetic energy on target, because it does deliver a good amount of kinetic energy on target. I don't shoot 338 Win Mag or 338 Lapua Mag to compare bullet size to bullet size in 338s across the board. If everybody goes out, likes and subscribes, and maybe supports me and goes to my Patreon and my OnlyFans and everything like that, I absolutely promise to do some apples to apples 338s, because they're neither one of those other rounds in 338 is common or inexpensive. Which brings us to your projectiles. Your projectiles are pretty expensive when you start reloading on these. So it's just the nature of the beast. It is a 338. I mean, you're not looking at a 22 for a 223 cutesy little bullet weighing 50 grains going downrange that you can pick up for $1 for a pound of the damn things or something silly. You're looking at a decent sized chunk of lead that's being pressed into that round. You're looking at a decent amount of powder charge to get that velocity down there. I mean, you are looking at what is by its very nature never going to be a super cheap economical round. I mean, this is not, for those of you who are looking for a round that is going to be inexpensive, that they can just plug downrange all day for 25-30 cents a round, I don't think it will ever happen. Whether you reload it yourself or anything else, prices are going to have to dramatically change in the industry in order for a chunk of lead like this to get down to the point where the bullet is not over 25 cents a round. Even dealing with your own brass, a 338 bullet, partly due to what the market will withstand, but also partly due to, well, this one, 210 grains. Got it. 210 grains versus 55, 80, it's literally twice the weight of that little 223 bullet. So, got twice the material in it. You cannot use the super cheapy stuff. I've got 99 rounds of partition here where I smoked my crony with it because the rounds came apart coming out of the barrel. Because I thought, man, I found some 30-cent a round ammunition. Yeah. No. Comes apart. Run to 3 twist. 1 complete rotation in 3 inches of barrel is a lot of spin, even out of a 16-inch or less barrel, because those are your barrel lengths. Your long barrel in 8.6 black is 16. This is made to be a short battle rifle, short barrel rifle, hunting. I don't know what your application is. Q designed this sucker to max out in a 16-inch barrel. Done deal, Merry Christmas, 16-inch. I'm one of the long boys in a 16-inch. They're shorter, and they're destroying stuff downrange with shorter. So, if you are curious about the 8.6 blackout, please look at other people's videos. Please go to Q's website, go to Faxon's website, go to Gorilla's website. Go out there on the internet and get more information for yourself on the 8.6 blackout. But hopefully somewhere in that process, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and possibly leave some courteous, helpful, or constructive comments down below to help my little corner of the internet offset eventually maybe some of this 8.6 blackout shooting cost. Because, man, go fund my bullets, folks. thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Everybody stay safe, stay sane, train, don't do anything silly, be polite to each other. Check out 8.6 Blackout by Q. Thank you very much. Have a great day, folks.